Cargill Farms. Dead.
But are they maybe for one with other stuff?
That's what I know.
It's already gone.
I mean, the last I heard was at the meeting, at the commission meeting, when Kennard had we'll see what happens.
Hello there.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Ready for the pledge?
Okay, you ready?
Can you wait one, do we have 1 minute?
Got it, okay, you got
You
it.
have 1 minute, and it's counting down.
Okay, I wanna put my phone on, do not disturb and block.
Uh-oh, somebody's got my.
Do not disturb. Yeah, it's already on, do not disturb. Okay, way there.
Mine access, my sister at a doctor's appointment, which I didn't think was ever gonna end.
Where was that?
Been,
Did you go?
yeah, I took her,
Oh,
I had to take her to the eye doctor, and the problem, of course, is the diet.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting of the Historical Resource Advisory Board to order.
I can just turn
Everybody please stand up.
the other camera.
Have the pledge of allegiance. I pledge All right, we'll have the roll call
Paul Greenan,
here.
Candace Bellamy McPherson,
Present?
Catherine Turner Thompson,
Here?
Cynthia King. Here. Lynn Turk,
Here?
Mark Hammer. Here. We have a quorum.
Okay. We have a quorum, so now we'll do the approval of minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from June 16th, 2025.
A second.
All right, we have a first and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. And now we'll start with the discussion on the local historical designation Yulee Sugar Mill request.
That's actually two subjects, I'm sorry, my bad. That's gonna be two different subjects, one and a two. One would be the local historical designation application, and two would be the Yulee Sugar Mill request. I'd like to do the Yulee Sugar Mill request first. It is attached to your agenda on the back side of it. And this was in response to a couple of questions we had at our last meeting. There was some questions in reference to the means of oversight during the construction process, which, as you see, it says response letter.
Yep.
Number one, what will be the means of oversight for this project? Curtail and whom will be provided the oversight? And the response was the oversight for activities that may impact historic fabric and specifically addressed in the project specifications, remove modern fill, organic overgrowth, and deteriorated structural elements only under archaeological oversight. And it gives the source. It's to page 4 of 31 of the package that was provided last month, or last meeting. And it goes on to state that they've coordinated with the Florida Division of Historical Resources regarding the preservation of historic resources and such that, would y'all like me to read it to you, or you wanna read it?
No,
Second question that we had was, that I had, that the board had asked about, was can you provide further details about the mortar and grout to be used? Will it be of like quality and compound of the original? And the response was yes. The specifications require the use of traditional tabbing materials consistent with historic mortar practices, and it goes on to describe references as to where it's found in the documents provided at the last meeting, and a little bit about what the actual materials would be as far as the mortar and grout. Specifically, the requirements ensure that both the mortar and the grout are compatible with the original materials chemically and visually, while maintaining permeability and historic character. The exclusion of Portland cement is explicitly stated, so there will be no modern materials. It will be as the materials used at that time period.
Somebody's going to be checking that to make sure?
Correct. That was part of question.
That's the arch,
That was in response to question number one.
right. So that's the archaeologist is the one who's going to be checking all that?
Correct.
So he would be able to check the mortar and the grout and,
Correct. They'll be there during the construction process. They will have oversight during the entire construction process.
Okay.
And then number three, where is the source of funding for the project being provided? And it's the Department of Environmental Protection. This is a state-funded preservation initiative as does at a designated Florida historic site. Then they have some additional information in which the oversight's gonna be provided. And that was to address the three questions of concern provided at our last meeting. And the second part would be in reference to the local historic designation application. And that is a single page where we had worked to provide some concerns on the prior application. There was 3 pages initially at the last meeting. The heading of it's Citrus County Application, Local Historic Designation. It's just a single page provided with the backup package.
Where?
is that this?
No, that's something I picked up. What does it look like? No, I don't see that. Do I? Do you all see that?
It should be with your backup package.
What page?
The last page, it's not stapled.
Oh, I see, yes.
All
The
by
last
itself.
page isn't stapled on there.
This
I have a clip on mine.
one, last page here.
It's all by
Oh,
itself.
It's in the back of that.
past the applications. Got it. No, that one?
Very,
No.
very,
You
Yes.
got it.
No. Wait, Mark.
Local historical, there it is.
Oh, I picked that up on the desk. Okay.
I got it.
This is for the board to review and discuss.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a
Yeah,
question?
go right ahead.
So will this be in lieu of, or can this be in lieu of submitting Florida Master Site File request for a number and the whole application?
No, the ordinance requires that a master file number be provided with the application. So they would have to do a state application prior to local historic designation as written in the historic preservation ordinance. The historic preservation ordinance does require a master file number to be included with the application.
Oh. Well, it's a state application to obtain the master. That's,
So to get the master file number,
Yeah.
is what you're saying?
and you're saying that's in the ordinance?
Correct.
What number? Do you have a copy of the ordinance?
Give me one moment, please.
I'm sorry, I don't have mine. Maybe I did. Hold on.
That's under section 101-3, local register of historic places. A local register of historic places is hereby created as a means of identifying and classifying various sites, buildings, structures, or districts as historic and/or architecturally significant. The local register shall be compatible with the Florida Master Site File to ensure that the data produced can be integrated into the statewide comprehensive historic preservation planning process, and should include at a minimum a completed Florida Master Site File form with an assigned Florida Master Site File number. The local register shall be made available to the public through the county's website.
And so then, this would serve as a nomination form?
Correct,
Okay.
for the local historic designation.
So it says application packet. That would include the Florida Master Site form and just this, and yeah, because legal boundary is part of the Florida Master Site File.
It would also include information provided that they submitted for the notification of property owners
Right.
would be part of that packet as well.
Okay.
And the public notice, the published public notice.
And that would come from here, though?
The applicant will provide that information to the board for review. The applicant has to do
Okay.
the applicant has to do the public notice
And the,
and the notification to property owners nearby.
okay.
So, once that process is done, they come to us and it's approved, then what do we do with it?
You approve or deny as a board, you
Right.
review, approve or deny.
Right.
If it's approved by the board, it'll go before the county commission for for an official designation.
Okay, I guess what my question is, after it's approved by us and then the county commissioners, what does the county do? How does the county store this information?
It'll be integrated into our GIS system, and it'll be part of our local designation, and included on our master file as well of local historic places of significant structures, lands, designations. With that, there is state recognition is also provided with a local historic designation. So certain structures would be exempt from modern requirements. Correct. It's a way to recognize locally historic places, structures,
Right,
areas in an official capacity. But it also does afford them some leniency with modern requirements, such as flood repair.
Such as what?
Flood repair.
flood.
Yeah, flood, yeah.
Are we still talking about Yulee Sugar Mill?
No, we've gone on.
No,
No.
this
Okay.
is, Yulee Sugar Mill is already listed
I
on the
know, but
National Places of Historic.
I can't hear half of what y'all are saying, so I'm kind of down here on this end, just kind of hoping my ears will grow, because I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I'm sorry. This is for local historic designation only. The Yulee Sugar Mill has,
Has already got that.
it's on the National
That's
Registry.
what I would have thought, but
This, we're trying to create a method to have local designation officially recognized for anyone who's interested in applying for it. We don't have an application process as of yet for the county, so that's what this is doing. This is to establish a local designation application process for a county level.
Well, let me ask you this. This way, everything's sort of packaged up. They've got all this other state application, they got all of this done before it gets to us, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
But it may not qualify for state. This is more lenient
Okay,
as far as we create the process. We create what's accepted and not as accepted.
okay, okay.
So there is that scenario where the state might not accept it, but we could, the county could.
Correct. By our own criteria. We create the criteria.
this has not been in place before.
No, ma'am.
I found that really odd. Okay.
While we're talking about Florida Master Site File forms, can I ask one question?
Sure.
You know, I know that we didn't apply in April for the small matching grant, which we would not have to provide cash match. And we were talking about it for in April of this coming year. And I was wondering, is there any reason why we, you know, if we have some volunteers or some other people, why some of the members or volunteers that we might be able to find couldn't go out into the community and update those core 100 or so that we have to see if any of them have been demolished or, you know, something like that?
We can get to that in a moment. We need to stay on task with the
okay.
local designation right now.
So that would come at the end? That question?
We can discuss that, yes, but right now we need to
Okay.
stay on task with the local
Okay.
designation conversation.
Are
Okay.
you looking for a motion from this board to approve this? Is
I'd
it
like-
draft, or is it,
This is the second draft. We had a draft at last month's at our prior meeting. I keep saying month, at our prior meeting. We discussed, I had provided some information for review at the last meeting.
Right.
These are the changes given the comments from last meeting. This is the new revisions and a new draft for the board to discuss and make recommendations, adopt or deny as the board feels fit.
I thought that was the certificate of appropriateness from last time.
We discussed both.
Did we have a draft of this from last time? I don't remember.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
I think I have it either. I just have the notes saying that we're gonna make an actual form.
There was 3 different pages last time.
I don't believe it
Oh.
was in form view.
Right.
I know.
It was more of just straight literature as opposed to.
We didn't get this. This is from what I think Ms. Vanderberg provided to you, Mark. The procedure for designation of resources
Yeah,
draft?
we have it, yeah. we-
Correct,
this was in
that was with the last month's
Okay. Did you get
package.
that?
This? These are the procedures. That's just down the.
Do you
front.
remember
Give
seeing
me,
that one?
Yes,
Oh.
there it is.
Okay. Okay, we got it last time.
Yeah, it was with the package from the last meeting.
Why would we ever doubt you? Right?
There's 2 pages. So now it's y'all's discussion. There it is.
I like this, it's all laid out,
Simple.
through things. do we have to give it our blessing? Okay,
If there's any additional information y'all would like added other than what, what was mentioned at last meeting? Any,
We'll need a motion and a second, then open to the public.
okay.
I make a motion.
I second.
Been motioned and second. All in favor?
Not yet?
No.
You're gonna open it up for discussion now,
Okay.
and you got somebody from the audience that wants to speak.
Oh, I see, I see.
and can I verify what the motion is? Your motion to approve as is?
Yes.
Approve the draft.
Mhm.
Go ahead and let Ms. Vanderbilt speak.
All right, would you like to speak on how it's doing this? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Jane Vandenberg. I live in Ozello, and last meeting, I was here to discuss making our Civic Clubhouse Historical Resource designated place. So after I left here, we did some things on the computer. If you look at your proposed application sheet, it says a state application to obtain the master file number is very simple to do. It is one little form that looks like this, and you complete it and you get a number. But on the number, on the form, it says that by requesting that the state number indicate your agreement to complete and submit a recording form for each number requested. Resource recording forms can be found online here. So that says that you must go forward with the application to get it on the master state file system. Now, back to your application form. It's your number 2 says, application packet submitted to the Historical Resource Advisory Board. I'm assuming you're talking about the application packet that you download from the state master file. Is that correct?
That would, that would in part be showing proof of
The number? Yeah,
well, not so much the number, but the application pack submitted to the Historical Advisory Board would also include the notification of the public announcement
okay,
and the printed form, the proof of certified mailing to all of the adjoining properties, and then the state application as well.
so you might want to clarify that. Maybe you do ABC or something, because when it says application packet submitted, it doesn't really clarify what is included in that application, or where you get the form even. It doesn't really say that. So if you were going to revise it any, that would be my recommendation. Then the other thing, okay, so then being a novice at this and not really sure what we're doing, I got, because it's a building, I went to the master site form to get the application that I think applies, and it's called the historical structure form. Now, if you're looking for something else, like I think one of your interested parties was looking for like a sign for the Desi campsite or whatever. So which form do you want? Do you want this historical structure form? Do you want a survey form? There's several different types of forms on the master site file. And so you might have to this application might have to have some more information to clarify that. So I'm assuming that the historical structure form is what I might need if I want a building to be designated. So that's just another observation that I have.
Okay, I need to backtrack one of my statements.
Okay.
The application packet submitted to the Historical Advisory Board, I believe, would actually be the state application file and this particular form itself, because bullet point number 5 does say public notice of intent to apply for designation through local newspaper. Public advertisement will be placed in the newspaper general circulation at a minimum 15 days prior to the public hearing of HFRAB meeting. So that is indicated in a different line for the
Okay.
public notice.
Okay,
So I need to correct myself with that statement.
okay. It doesn't mention, where does it talk about the letter to all the people?
Yeah, it's that
That,
last
that'd be
one.
the public notice of intent to apply form designation.
Within 500 feet.
That would be the next one down, bullet point 6, the last bullet point.
Okay. Okay, so it does mention that too. So all of that is part of the application?
Correct.
Okay, okay.
And for the sign would be considered a structure.
Oh, it would be, okay,
Yes.
okay. So I've got the right form then?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
Well,
about
can
it.
I ask you a question? What building is it in Ozella?
Oh, it's the Ozello Civic Association building. It was constructed in 1965. It houses the club, the association that has, we believe that it meets the criteria for being added to the community. It housed, in the very beginning, a voting booth, voting poll. Water was distributed there, mail was distributed there. It's continuing to just be a service to the community. They got fire equipment. They do community outreach, blah, 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 blah.
I just want to know what building it was.
Yeah, it's the Ozella Civic Association building. As you go on Ozella Trail, mile marker 5, maybe.
Well, that's where Ozella used to end. It ended there, and it wasn't until 1955
Yeah,
that it expanded.
Mr. Waterman, right.
No, Mr. Green, Ronnie Green.
Well, yes, him too, yes.
Actually, there's a guy named Waterman. There's a street out there called Waterman.
Yeah, I know.
He had 125 acres. What he did was.
I know. I lived in Tropic Terrace from 1957 on,
Okay, so you're very familiar, yes. Mhm.
with Happy Helens. Yes, okay, yes. Well, thank you.
So I'll probably come before this board again
Okay.
with paperwork.
Is it right on the road? Is that building right on the road?
Yes.
Yes,
Is
right
it
on the,
white or colored?
it's painted blue,
Yeah.
turquoise.
It's where the Riders Club meet, right?
Yes, you did come out for the Writers Guild, and we just, a plug, we just published a second book. I don't know if you had the first book, but the second book is a cookbook with stories.
Yes.
And,
Tall Tales.
yes, Tall Tales. So, if you want it, you have to come all the way out to Zello to the Island Outpost. Have supper or breakfast and buy a book.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mark, would it make it easier if the first thing was application packet submitted to the Historical Resource Advisory Board or includes what's listed below? Would that make it easier for people to understand it? Understand what goes in this application packet? Based on what she was just saying, would that make it easier? If you made it the first bullet and then.
Or strike
which
it out
includes-
altogether.
Or includes the following, or includes the below.
Y'all tell me.
Would that make it simpler to understand if it was the first item, if it starts out with application packet submitted to us, it should include the following, or includes the following? Would that make it simpler for people to use it, rather than, it is a little confusing right there, you know, like what's in the packet? No?
I think it would.
Think we make it a little bit clearer? Just, it's not like a big change to the application.
So if I move, just for clarification purposes, if I move the second line above the first line and add to include, and then you're hitting
does it.
all the points, is
Right.
that the direction I'm
Yes.
understanding?
Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay, so can we amend the motion for this to include that change, please?
I'm in the motion to move the second item to the first, and the first item Oh, and the second item to say, and includes the following forms.
Make it simple.
That was second?
I'll second that.
Oh, okay.
Want me to do that?
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Let us hear the motion passed.
Thank you.
I second that emotion. Love music.
So I understand properly, the second line will be moved up to the first line, and it'll read application packet submitted to the Historical Resource Advisory Board to include.
Yes,
And that will be the first line.
yes.
And that was the only revision required by the board. Does the board feel it necessary to review this once that revision is made, or will that be accepted by the board with that single revision?
I think it should be
It's already been accepted.
I'm just trying to clarify.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Because if it's accepted as, without single revision, if it's accepted of that, I will provide this form to applicants.
Yes.
And that's what I just want to make sure that if I do provide this, that I am providing the proper form that's accepted by the board with that single revision.
Okay, 1 second, we had a question.
Okay, you know, the sentence that begins with upon receipt of completed application form, you should make that the last sentence, because you will, you have to do the public notice of intent for the designation. And then you have to do, the adequate notice. So if you take upon receipt, all the necessary documentation, that's your last sentence, not the
Okay, so-
sentence.
3 becomes 6.
Yeah, it should be the bottom. Then you've got,
Okay, 4. 4
Yeah.
becomes 6.
Yes.
yeah, upon receipt, upon is the last sentence.
Board,
Gonna have to, have another motion.
Okay, do I have a motion for this?
I make a motion that we move item number 4 to the last item.
A second.
Got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Super
It takes it-
suggestion.
So you should give Mark direction to go forth with
Yes,
what's
yes.
been approved.
Oh,
so-
it's approved.
okay, so
Yes,
the opening, number 1 will be application packet submitted to the Historical Advisory Board to include,
yeah,
will be the state application, the boundary, the legal boundary, the public notice, the adequate notice to the HRAB meeting, and it will close out with upon receipt of the completed application form.
okay.
Here, here.
Any more discussion?
Moving on to F.
Okay. I guess we're gonna hear from the county now.
F,
Staff updates?
no, F.
Open to the public.
Oh, it's open to the public. John Q. Public, where are you? Okay. So, but not there. Okay. Now what's that, staff updates?
Okay, we're gonna go to the application for advisory board committee in a moment. Last month, I received an update from the State Historical, Preservation Board. The Crystal River Memorial Garden Cemetery Revitalization Project was a recipient of one of their grants for $81,000.
Oh, great.
The legislature has decided not to fund any special category grants. Instead, they will be listed exclusively funding the list of members' project. There were not a whole bunch of them awarded. There was nothing in our area really awarded. They reconfigured some of the grant processes and where they were going. There was a lot of things stricken. Crest River applied. I don't believe they received anything, but they were looking for funding to help with some brochures. And there were other projects throughout the state, but a lot of them didn't make it. One of the things that was also brought forward was they are still trying to create a historic designation for mobile homes and modular homes. So that is still part of a discussion, and I believe that's more so pertaining to some of the southern counties. And I'll leave it at that. But that is still something that is being discussed by the State Preservation Board, is including mobile and modular homes into a historic designation.
I guess that might be for flooding purposes.
That would be for flooding purposes. I think one of the talking points was, well, not one. One of the talking points was for the Florida Keys, and their modular homes that are stilted or raised off the ground. And these are modular homes, not mobile homes, but modular homes, which would also include mobile homes. This goes to the leniency I had mentioned before with historic designation, provides leniencies to some modern construction methods. With those mobile homes, when the floods came in order to comply with FEMA, they had to be elevated to the current flood levels. So when you take it from 4 foot and you raise it to 14 foot, now you have the stairs and stairways. Those stairs and stairways get extended by essentially 1 foot in length for every 1 foot in elevation. So if you raise it 10 feet, you're now extending the stairs 10 feet. By doing that, it encroached into the easements and setbacks of the properties. So now you can't legally build stairs to get out of your mobile home given the length of your properties and the setbacks of your properties, because you're required to elevate them. So this is in reaction to that, is my understanding.
Well, I know in Homosassa, and I know they probably have stairs too. I haven't really looked at it, but that, you know, most people I think that are building up to 13 or 14 feet are going to have an elevator. I know in Homosassa that's the case.
You still have to have stairs.
I know, that's what I said. Yes.
Fire escape,
Yep. Yeah.
electricity.
But I believe,
Those homes that, you know, at Roselle, the last year, it basically took 2 hours for you know, one of those Caterpillars to drive through a mobile home that was like 3 feet in the air. 2 hours, and it was done. And from people that were trying to restore them, because of the salt water, it can only stand about 4 floods.
Yeah,
And the
again,
bottom goes.
I don't think that historic designation for mobile homes is really for our area.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that it
But in
would
the
benefit.
cases, it's bad. I mean, the flooding is.
I'll talk about Citrus County, and I can talk about Citrus County, but I don't want to represent the Florida Keys because I've been there once and I probably won't be back again. I've lived in Florida all my life. I'm 53 years it took me to get to the Florida Keys. That's probably the only time I'm ever going to see it. I know nothing about it, and I'm happy with that. I'm comfortable with that, but it's not an area of my knowledge.
It's just here, I mean, the mobile homes are old. I mean, like the ones by us were put in the 60s. And so they would qualify as historic.
Not necessarily. That's same as the extent that the homes in Beverly Hills are older than 50 years. but they won't qualify for local historic designation because there's nothing of significance to them. So there's the different qualifications. I don't think that our area, we're gonna find a mobile home that's gonna qualify for uniqueness in which it'll be granted a historical designation versus what we have in the Keys. That's why I don't wanna comment on the Keys because I'm not versed on it and that's not an area of my knowledge. But given my area of knowledge of Citrus County, I don't think, we're gonna be hard pressed to find a mobile home within Citrus County that would qualify for historic designation, in my belief.
Can I ask?
But correct me if I'm wrong, the state has not configured how they're going to recognize mobile homes at this point.
It's still a
They're
talking.
working on that.
Yeah, it's still a talking point
So,
for them. It's-
once they figure that out, then we at the county level can go forward in the event that anyone with a mobile home, once that is an approved category, correct?
Correct. It's just a talking point at this moment that the state is pursuing.
And you made,
Just a point of clarification, are you sure that in their talks about mobile homes, they're not talking about the mobile homes that used to travel down the highway?
RV.
RVs.
This is residence,
Or
not a recreational vehicle.
Well, you know,
had to be pulled.
they used to have, you know, parks where people would pull in and, but they were mobile homes that,
That's a
more,
par-
they were
that-
more
Tin
like what we
tourist
call a
camps.
travel trailer today.
Well, they were all mobile homes. They had wheels on
That
them.
would be,
Yeah.
that would be considered a park model, not a mobile home.
But they're talking about actual,
Mobile homes, modular homes,
really,
mounted to foundation,
Hmm.
without wheels or tongue, to fit the category. And in the aspects of the building code, wheels removed, axles removed. Well, bare minimum, wheels removed, tongue removed, mounted to a foundation.
well,
Now, they do have park models, but that's a different category, and that is not considered mobile home or modular
I
home.
thought they could have been talking about what they used to call a mobile home that went down the highway.
Tin Can tourist camps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we digress here.
But I do have a question. You did make some reference to materials, you know, as maybe part of what this criteria for mobile homes would be. Can you expound on that?
The modern construction practices.
Okay. And then the last question goes to the grants. Is there anywhere we can go online and see, I know there is, but if you could direct us to see what was submitted as possibilities and then what was vetoed and what was approved? Is there somewhere we can go and look at that information online?
You could request that from
DHR.
Ruben Acosta,
Yeah, okay.
and I can't remember the other gentleman's name, but I
Yeah,
can
Ruben.
provide you with
That's-
an address if you don't have it, but
It-
they can provide that for you if you
Be-
just request it.
Because it's interesting, it sounds like they, well, they didn't approve any special category grants, but they did these special funding requests. But I was just wondering where and I'll get the information, but, and that, I guess it's very fortunate that Citrus County got one, if there was probably so few, and they probably were in other more larger areas.
Yes.
But I'll look into that. Thank you.
Where did it go?
Any other discussions? Have any more updates?
So, historic Pensacola, I don't have I don't have details on it, but historic Pensacola, historic Port Theater, Jacksonville History Center, all received funding. Centro, I can't even pronounce that, so excuse me, I'm not going to because I don't want to.
It's a building in Tampa, Ybor.
Centro Astronano Renovation and Revitalization.
Yeah, in Ybor.
Clay County Archives Building, Harry S. Truman Little White House Preservation, Historic Florida Theater, Historic Pigeon Key Hurricane Hardening Project,
Oh, that would be nice.
Historic Women's Club Improvement, Ma Baker House Improvement,
That'd be
Restoration of
very
Historic Gray Cottage, Goodwood Museum and Gardens.
Very selective.
Those are the grants that were awarded in the
Yeah,
last cycle.
Especially Mark Barker's house.
Yeah,
Yeah, after they moved it across the lake.
yeah, in the different county.
Yeah. Bullet holes were still in it though.
No, they patched them.
Yeah,
I'm kidding, they didn't.
all right.
So that's what I had as far as just updated to some of the other nuances.
Okay.
And now, there are 3 applications before you board members for, application for advisory board. If you'd like to look these over, please, and give recommendation.
And with that, we do have 2 vacancies that we need to fill. We only have 3 applications, so would y'all like to make an agenda item for these 3 to go before the board for appointment? Or would you like to continue taking applications?
I'm looking at these. Some people haven't been here that long, and some people have been here for a while. But the ones that were here for a short period of time, they volunteered at the old courthouse museums and, but are they looking for guidance from us, or should we just?
These are to fill your 2 vacancies on your board.
Right, but it's not up to us. We can't vote, we don't vote on these people, do we?
No, but if you have one recommendation over the other, I could include that when we relay this information
All right,
for the
well,
Board of County Commissioners to nominate and appoint.
I'm not familiar with any of these people, so
How did this come about? Was there something in the paper? I think that's how I found it.
The board made an announcement during the BOCC meeting that we had these vacancies and that we were accepting applications.
But there was nothing in the paper.
That notice.
The notice
There wasn't
for
a
the
notice.
BOCC is
It's published.
advertised in the newspaper,
Right.
but as far as a notice specifically announcing this in the paper, no ma'am.
Okay. Don't you think we should do that? I think that's how I found out. It was
There
over
typically is a notification within the public notification.
section.
So the 2 that have had residents here in the county the longest, one is a retired geologist, is that correct?
Yes.
And the
That's what it
other
states.
has,
No, geologist?
been on a tree advisory commission and also Development and Planning Ordinance Commission. So both those would, I think, be an asset to the
I
board.
think so, yeah, I think it's geology.
Geology.
Nancy, you talking about who, the 15-year or the 37?
Yeah, this is the retired geologist. And the
2 of
other,
them already are volunteers
Yes,
at the
37
courthouse.
years.
yeah, and he has
Yeah, okay.
So, hey,
experience with development and planning.
I mean,
Do you know Nancy Doyle?
Yeah, I know
Belton?
Nancy and,
Jeffrey Wells?
no, Drew Jordan. He has a lot of experience.
Okay.
how long has this been out there, the application process? Couple of months or? Okay,
Yes, sir, I can't recollect exactly what date, but I want to
say 2 or 3 months.
estimate
because I-
probably about 2 months that it
yeah,
was
I remember-
advertised.
I remember reading.
It was
about that
advertised,
they were-
right?
They were taking, so. Huh?
Did I say something?
Well, yeah, right ahead.
Okay. I agree that the urban planner person, I think we at one time had that as, and I know we don't have the criteria anymore, but at one time we did have a planner as part of some of the criteria for board members that we were looking for. And I think Jeffrey Wells would serve that very well. He's, of course, been in the county for a long number of years. And here again, like I said, from volunteering at the museum, I know the other two. And yes, Nancy's been in the county longer. She does have a postgraduate degree in geology, and she, though it's not on the application, she worked, I think, for NOAA. Drew Jordan, who has also been volunteering at the museum and doing a lot of work in the archives, cataloging. He works at Pleasant Grove Elementary School. He's a teacher. He worked at the Inverness Christian Academy. And the other, I think, job that fits in really well with what we're looking for was just the exposure that, even though, he was a janitor, the exposure that he had at the Henry Ford Museum in Dearborn exposed him to a lot of different history aspects. And of course, his major is social studies, minor is history, secondary education. And I don't know how long he's been coming into the museum, but he's really dove into the history of the county through these things, including what I mentioned previously, working with the artifacts, setting up exhibits, and just doing about anything anybody asks at the museum, events, et cetera. So if someone were to ask me, I would recommend the Drew Jordan and Jeff Wells based upon their experience. That's just all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else have anything to say?
I think you ought to put the application out there. I think, not the application, but the idea that you could apply to be on this board should be out there. I think I saw it in the paper when I applied. It was just a little side blurb. And,
Well, just leave it out there then, or
and then vote on it next time.
republish it, or how can we do that?
Was it in an actual ad, like an actual thing, or was it part of the
Public.
county commission meeting was going to be on whatever
Yeah,
date?
with just part of,
Yeah.
I would have to check with the administrator's office to see if they do a publication regarding the advisory notices, because that's who all of the advisory board applications come through. So
Okay.
I would have to verify that and ask for another publication to be ran if y'all would like to continue accepting applications.
I think that's fair. Just put it back out there again.
But separate from the county commission.
Almost like as a PSA or community announcement.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
I could have our PIO do that if that's the recommendation. And
Well, I
Of the
think that's a
board.
good idea.
Shouldn't
Everybody
we
think
have
it's
a
good
cap
idea?
on it, though, as to how long this is going to go on? We don't want it to just go month after month after
No,
month.
but at the next meeting, we could vote on it and be done with it.
Yes. I believe up until the next meeting, we
So-
can get it back out there.
So,
so someone
By
needs to
October.
make a motion as to how you're directing staff to proceed.
okay, so the motion would be to put out a public notice for for applicants for this board, and that the application would be due by, say, middle of September, so September 15th. That would give them another 4 weeks, or September 30th, but our next meeting is October 6th.
Yeah.
So that way we'd have the applications before the meeting.
Second,
We got a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. When's the next meeting?
October 6th, right?
Okay. Is there anything else from you?
Mark was gonna speak to the Florida Master Site files, possible updates by volunteers, in lieu of the fact that it's a whole nother whatever till we can submit that application. And if people can be doing research and working on the ones that are already there, and, you know, some of them may already be demolished.
We need to find a systematic way to approach that.
Okay,
Do you want to break it down into blocks? You want to break it down into structures? Need to find some sort of methodology as to how to approach that.
well, we have that list of about 100 structures that I think are already identified on the local list that we have. And they always did the Florida Master Site files according to areas: Crystal River, Homosassa, Hernando, Inverness, and Floral City. And so we could, you know, look at individual areas. And that's going to be probably with 105 areas, that would be less than, you know, 25 per area. Is that what you're asking?
You were asking.
Well, is that okay?
I still think we need to find a systematic way to do it. We need to have a published list, because the list I have has 1,300 structures on it.
Public, okay.
A published list so that we could look at it
Yes,
in
yeah.
front of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
A printed list so that we could
Okay.
look at it and break it down in
Something
that
we should have
manner.
at the next meeting.
Well, haven't we received that in the past? Those 100 structures or so?
Not that I'm aware, I
Oh,
don't have
only
that.
just the big list?
That's what I have, is just the big list.
Oh, okay, well, I have the 100 structures or so.
We-
I can send it to you.
Send that to me, I'll
Okay.
break it down,
Okay,
and then at our next meeting,
okay,
as a board,
right,
make a decision and determination as how
okay.
how it's to be approached and a methodology to it, and then we can approach it in that manner.
Just for thought, there's 5 county commissioners, and so there's 5 districts. If that could be used, and if there's a way to get the commissioners to get involved, they could be the head of their own district and then get volunteers.
You can call them,
I would call them. No
that's
problem.
fine,
I would do it.
that's fine. I mean,
Okay.
again, I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah, no, I mean, if that's the way it ends up breaking down, it would be, because you're getting into a better part of the year
I
to go
just-
out and do this.
Again, we need to have a method as to how to approach it,
When is elections?
and that's what we'll put that on our next agenda, is we'll
Okay.
discuss that, and we'll have that as an agenda item at our next meeting as to how the board would like to approach this and how to move forward with this.
I'll send you the list and some thoughts.
Okay?
And then my last question had to do with the question that I posed last meeting, and that has to do with, will future changes to the historic courthouse come before this board?
I don't know. Probably not.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
We're not a regulatory board, and they're not applying for an application, a permit application through the county. We review county applications.
My understanding was when this board was first formed, that that was one of the reasons that it was formed, so there could be some oversight to county-owned historic structures.
I'll see if I can get Eric at our next meeting.
Okay, thank you. Thank you again.
There we go. Does anyone have any other questions? Don't be that kid in the class. Okay. All right, we're meeting October 6th is our next meeting. All right. This meeting is adjourned.